CNBC Africa's Nozipho is on the line, coming to us live from Fortaleza in Brazil to give us an update on the Brics summit, which is currently underway in that coastal town. Nozi, I understand that President Jacob Zuma has just given you guys a press announcement, in particular focused with the South African media. What's the latest there?
In fact, Google President Jacob Zuma has indicated that he's not feeling well and he's unable to give a press briefing to the South African journalists as promised, but instead he is going to be sending Finance Minister Mbwanjwa Nene as well as Minister Rob Davies of Trade and Industry to brief the media. But before that happens, right now in Fortaleza, we're literally witnessing a media scrum. Journalists from all the Brics member countries scrambling, trying to get entrance into the main plenary hall, because this is where everybody is anticipating that the decision on the domicile of the new development bank is likely to be made, and in particular as well as who the president of that bank is likely. Of course, this is the big item that everybody is waiting for, but alongside that, we are expecting announcements about various agreements that have been signed, some of them in the bilateral meetings that have happened amongst all the trade ministers, meetings that have happened between the finance ministers and the governors of central banks. And of course, the big meeting takes place tomorrow in Brasilia, and that's between the heads of state. But literally in the next few minutes, we are expecting some very key outcomes of the Brics Summit, the 6th Brics Summit, to be made.
It's interesting that you mentioned that domicile of the development bank. That has been a very key issue. Is the decision still leaning very closely to Shanghai, as well as maybe a representative from China to be the president of that bank?
Absolutely. It seems there is a very strong murmur that the domicile of the bank is likely to be Shanghai. We've heard from the spokesperson from the Department of International Relations and Cooperation that South Africa has reached a good compromise on the domicile of the bank. So suspicion there that maybe the domicile of the headquarters is going to Shanghai, and maybe South Africa might just get the regional headquarters. We're not sure of that yet. We're reading in between the lines. But that's the decision that's likely to happen. But it seems as if South Africa is not totally going to lose out should the domicile go to Shanghai.
Something else of interest that you made mention of earlier was the bilateral agreements. Now, I understand Patrice Motsepe, who was the former chair of the Business Council, mentioned that we have seen significant increases regarding trade among the Brics countries.
Absolutely, Gugu. And in particular, President Jacob Zuma had a bilateral meeting with his counterpart Xi Jinping from China just late last night. And one of the key issues that was raised there is that although trade between South Africa and China has trebled to $90 billion, issues of trade imbalances are still there. And in particular, another key outcome that came out of that meeting is that China has conceded that they are alive to the localization issues when it comes to Chinese investment into South Africa and the broader continent. Should that particular issue be taken up in future and resolved, this would be a big win for South Africa in terms of structurally changing the trade relationships that exist between not only South Africa and China, but the broader African continent and China.
Indeed. Well, thank you so much. That was CNBC Africa's very own Nozipho coming to us live from Brazil, where a lot of new outcomes might be made in the next few hours at the 6th Annual Brics Summit.